The Biden administration has announced additional U.S. military help for Ukraine. This package provides up to $250 million for arms and equipment. It includes air defense munitions and more than 15 million rounds of ammunition. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry is traveling with the president in St. Croix. Joins us now with more on this. Skylar, walk us through where this money is coming from and how it'll actually help Ukraine.
Yeah, Chanel, good to be with you. Well, this is part of a previously authorized presidential drawdown authority package that has money set aside for this very instance to the tune of some $250 million. And this cash will go to everything from munitions to try to help with anti-tank defenses, as well as anti-aircraft munitions, as well as smaller rounds of ammunition, even medical equipment. The Department of Defense has indicated that this is the 54th tranche, if you will, of services provided to Ukraine in this matter. But they also say that this is the last time that they will be able to provide Ukraine with funding and equipment like this until Congress passes a supplemental aid deal that, of course, has been held up between Capitol Hill and the Biden administration for some time now. We know that both Republicans and Democrats have indicated that they want to see more funding go to Ukraine. The Biden proposed package would have north of $60 billion that would go to Ukraine, as well as other funding that would help Israel in their fight against Hamas, money for Taiwan. But they also say that they want to get money down to the U.S.-Mexico border to help in their struggle there. What we know is that Republicans say that Democrats, including the Biden administration, need to sweeten the pot, if you will, sweeten that deal. What they would like to see remains to be seen. We know that the Biden administration appears to want to concede on several different points, namely shortening asylum stretches, as well as increasing deportations and detentions to try to get the migrant crisis under control. We know that lawmakers on both sides appear to be making significant progress right until that holiday break, but they simply said that it was too little time before said break, so they will have a lot to do when they get back come the start of the year. But what's most important to point out, Chanel, again, is that the Pentagon has pointed out that these $250 million is the last that they will be able to provide until Congress can get something done.
Okay. Also want to ask, while we have you, Skylar, about this meeting between Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas, meeting with Mexico's president to stem illegal migration. You mentioned that meeting. Was there any significant progress to report?
Well, both sides have always been amicable about what they would like to see moving forward. We know that they want to put a focus on some key entry points along the U.S.-Mexico border, but then also look at ways that they can try to stem this growing crisis in and of itself. Just in the last week, over the course of 5 days, some 50,000 migrants crossed over into the country. And so they're trying to figure out ways that they can try to address this problem. We also know that Mexico's president says that they are dealing with a crisis of their own, and that at the the Mexico-Guatemala border, they're dealing with migrants and influx, if you will, coming in there. I think Mexican officials have indicated that they have spotted some 680,000 migrants tracking through the country of Mexico over the course of the last 11 months. And so they want to try to tamp down that as best as possible. What we know that has been proposed by Mexican officials, an effort to try to limit sanctions on Venezuela and Cuba. Those are some of the areas where we're seeing the largest group of migrants, but then also trying to find ways to get more developmental aid out into countries where a lot of these migrants are coming from, these home countries where these migrants are coming from. What comes from this remains to be seen. I think the Biden administration also looking forward to what may come from Congress in terms of getting more resources down to the border.
Okay, a couple of big stories to keep our eye on. Skylar, thanks so much.
You bet.